This week's guest is Mark Ellwood, not your average productivity guru. He's the founder of Pace Productivity, a consultancy that's been helping businesses squeeze real value out of their time and teams for over 25 years. But what sets Mark apart isn't just his longevity in the game, it's his no-fluff, data-led approach to time management. From working with Fortune 500 companies to coaching overwhelmed founders, Mark has built a reputation as the guy who turns chaos into clarity. But his work isn't about working faster, it's about working smarter, with purpose, and on what actually moves the needle.
Well, you say we know,
Okay.
but do we really? I mean, there's sort of a gut feel, or we made some observations. And a lot of the time management books kind of are based on that. It's like, well, I had this observation, or I tried this myself, and so on. And there's a lot of fine advice in there. It's based on years of credible consulting or whatever. I guess the more telling one is the second finding, and this is quite profound in time management. And let me take a little bit to explain. If you read time management books, they talk about working on your important activities, but nobody really defines what those are. There's something called the Eisenhower Matrix, which talks about urgent and important. You should be focused on your important but non-urgent activities. But again, those aren't really well defined. So I thought, I wonder if I could define those. So it just happens that I ask people participating in these studies, what are the most important things you need to do in your job? And so salespeople will say they have to process orders, they have to service customers, but more than anything else, they say they have to prospect and get new business. All right, so that's a salesperson. So I looked at 13 major jobs and looked at what they were telling me they were supposed to be doing, and then mapped that against what they were doing with their time. And I found out that on those top priority activities, the average is only 20%. And so women are spending a greater percentage of their time on those top priority activities, 22%, and men only at 18%. So regardless of men versus women, if the average is only 20%, you asked what should we do? Well, it's important for organizations to get those numbers up higher. How can you get people spending 30% of their time on their top priority activities? It's important. Let's take email, for example. We kind of assume that everybody knows how to use email, and it's a terrific productivity tool. When I started, it didn't exist, and it made communication so much better. But get this, we ask people, not always, but we ask them to measure how much time they spend on unnecessary email. In their opinion, what's unnecessary? Now, we measure the other emails separately. Unnecessary email, it's 3.4 hours per week. That's massive. And so why is that? Well, it's because someone received an unnecessary email. But everybody blames somebody else. No one takes responsibility. The first thing is that everyone has to assume some responsibility. We're all responsible for badly written emails or too many emails or communication that doesn't work and so on. And so, would you like to hear that?
Yes, please.
Okay. So in goal setting, we talk about the SMART formula, S-M-A-R-T, and it's an effective way to think about how you formulate your goals. So I did that in poetic form. Know what you want and set a clear goal. Then start taking action and get on a roll. An acronym spells out a goal that is SMART. Just S-M and A, then R-T to start. Avoid being vague as you aim for specific. Be selective as well and not too prolific. Nothing is trivial. Be substantial and clear. Be sure to aim high as you plot out the year.